Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And there's another revelation about Krankie and her phone, and it's quite unbelievable. In fact, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's being released as part of the written evidence over this whole period that is stunningly unbelievable. But it's almost as though there is a government within a government, a secret cabal, a star chamber where you only get in by invite, and where all the important decisions are made secretly and with everybody there knowing that none may speak the truth. We'll take a look at it and see if you believe the stuff that's coming out now, especially about Krankie's phone. It's a joke. Here goes. So, Nicola Sturgeon gave the mobile phone she used in 2020 to a family member whose phone had broken. First of all, do you believe that? Secondly, let's go to that family member and retrieve that phone. It's bound to have all those WhatsApps on it. Thirdly, did she wipe everything, or did she hand over classified information to someone not vetted? And that would be a crime. That is breach of the Official Secrets Act, perhaps. That certainly carries a prison sentence. She needs to name who this family member is. Probably her sister, isn't it, really? And she has to have that phone returned and examined. And it can't go back into Nicola's hands. The police need to turn up right away and demand the phone immediately and not let anyone from the SNP get hold of it. This is possibly a major security breach that she's tried to write off as being, oh, I just gave it to a friend, lightly. Because now she doesn't have the phone. Oh, I don't know, the friend's got rid of it. Name your friend, name your family member, name who it is. And let's retrieve the phone. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a bit anyway. Because we know she's a liar. Everything she says is a lie, without fail. So why should we believe her on this? Of course we don't. But if it's true, she's potentially broken the Official Secrets Act and certainly been a major breach of security. And for that alone, she needs to answer. Anyway, Nicola Sturgeon said she upgraded her mobile phone in 2020 and gave the old handset to a family member whose phone had broken. The UK COVID inquiry released written evidence yesterday following the First Minister's dramatic day of testimony on Wednesday, where she admitted deleting all her WhatsApp messages. So she's admitted the destruction of evidence. Again, that's a crime. In the submission dated on the 16th of November 2023, this is all the written evidence that's now been released. Didn't come out at the time, subsequent release. She says, the mobile phone I used prior to upgrading around December 2020 is not in my possession. Having transferred to my new phone, I later gave the old handset to a family member whose own phone had broken. Name the member, grab the phone. She acknowledged that she'd been using the phone to conduct government business, such as matters relating to the management of the pandemic in Scotland, including calls, texts and WhatsApps, and it's not clear whether Ms Sturgeon sought any security clearance before handing over the device with classified, important government information undoubtedly on it. She also told lead counsel Jamie Dawson KC that the prepaid mobile phone she purchased in March 2020 and then claimed back on expenses was for staff use only, and we know that is complete and utter bullshit. Because when she claimed it, she didn't put it into the staff telephone box. She put it down in ancillary stuff because she didn't want it going into staff. Because if it went into the staff phones, it would then be officially logged as a phone for staff, which would come under the Official Act for the Freedom of Information and such like. By putting it in that way, she could keep it outside of that sort of rule. And also, she'd have to say which staff member had the phone. And again, she was having the phone. This wasn't for staff at all. More bullshit. It was just a way of her convincing people that she could talk on the phone and nobody would keep a record. We know this. So it's all more lies from this habitual liar. Ms Sturgeon insisted she'd received advice from the Scottish Government officials that text of the WhatsApp message removed from a device could only be retrieved for a period of up to 30 days. And you have to ask why she was interested in that particular piece of information. Why? Why was that so important to her? Did she think that, if I delete it and then I hopefully wait for 30 days, I can't find my phone, officer. Tick tock, tick tock. Oh, look, magically I found it and then there's no way of retrieving it. Well, she needs to be aware that that's actually not true, and they can go back 6 years. Meanwhile, her successor, Humza Yousaf, said officials are urgently looking for minutes of the pandemic Gold Command meeting to hand over to the UK COVID inquiry. And again, that's a lie. Because he's saying, oh, we're urgently looking for the minutes. And he knows full well that they were not minuted. So again, more lies. Why bother lying? We know you're lying. It's already been said that you didn't minute them. I'm just looking for the minutes that we didn't take. Humza Yousaf, do you think we are as stupid as the average SNP voter? Key players include Miss Sturgeon, National Clinical Director Jason Leach, and select SNP ministers use the gatherings to discuss strategy and options to tackle the virus. This was that star chamber I was talking about. Some people were invited in, the people they could trust, the people they could control, the people they knew wouldn't turn on them. Kate Forbes was never invited in because she was basically seen as a risk to them, what with her being religious, Christian, honest to some extent, and someone who would probably, blow the whole thing open if she found out that they were planning to kill thousands of people. No minutes of the meetings have been shared with the inquiry, and they've admitted they didn't minute it. But most, Mr. Yousaf and Kate Forbes telling the inquiry that the meetings should have been minuted. So there he's saying, on one hand, Yousaf is saying that they should have been minuted, which by implication means that he knows they should have been, but they weren't. And meanwhile, he's also saying, oh, we're looking for the minutes, knowing full well there aren't any. Anyway, Miss Forbes, who was then Finance Secretary, revealed that she hadn't even known about the existence of the summits, which often took place before cabinet meetings. I actually believe that. I believe they would have kept them completely secret from her because of her perceived risk. Miss Sturgeon told the inquiry she didn't know the meetings had been named Gold Command, bullshit, and claimed that the email summaries of what was discussed should be available. Again, bullshit. They'll have been deleted too. And why weren't they minuted? Why was there no officials in these meetings taking these minutes? Because the subject matter was so appallingly bad, they knew nobody could do this. Scottish Lib Dem leader Alex Cole-Hamilton said they were like meeting of a secret central committee and accused the government of running a government, accused the SNP of running a government within a government. And he added, Humza Yousaf saw all of this and yet did nothing. So why is he now standing in the way of a ministerial code investigation into Gold Command record keeping, something only he can instruct? In response, the First Minister said the government is urgently examining and exploring and will hand over any notes to the inquiry that we've got on Gold Command minutes. In other words, we're going to pretend to do something and we're going to tell you that we'll hand everything over, even though we know there's nothing to hand over. And no, I won't be having an investigation because it means I might lose my job. Shady, secretive, sleek it, nasty, dirty. This star chamber that controlled everything, that nobody knew what was going on, that everybody inside has to keep secret. There's probably death threats on these things. They know. They know. This is like the high command, isn't it? In the bunker. The Reichstag. Only the very few at the top know everything that's going on. Himmler, Goering. This is this lot. Coming up. You could rewrite the words of Colonel Bogey, but it would have to end with Humza has no balls at all, wouldn't you? The man daren't tell the truth. He knows. He knows full well. It's all shady and it's all bullshit. And he's trying there, sitting there and giving this spin and saying, oh, I'm doing this, look at me, I'm doing this. You're doing no such thing. Now, this is a clear, absolute clear breach of ministerial code. You know it, Humza Yousaf. We know it. And you'll do nothing because you know it's you who broke the bloody code. And you don't want to lose your job. But everyone knows, everyone sees now what these people are. Not minuting these meetings. What's that? Not minuting them and then pretending to go and look for the minutes. Do you take us for complete morons? Do you think our heads zip up the back? We haven't just come up the lock in a bubble, you know. Anyway, I'm going to get angry if I do, so I'll stop. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and let's all go round and look for Nicola's phone at her relative's house. I'm sure it's still there. I'm sure it's still got all the messages on. Bye.